Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day in crypto. Green candles almost across the board, so hope you guys are enjoying those. Pretty exciting for sure. We're going to have a great show today, honestly. Going to be talking about upcoming stream that we've got later today, so it's in about 6 hours time. That's going to be on the first metaverse coming to Pulsechain with the Mafia map, and of course massive land grab. That's going to be awesome. A lot of people in crypto and gaming love metaverses. So yeah, and of course on Pulsechain, it's not going to have the problem on a lot of other chains. It's going to be super cheap and super fast to play and purchase and all that. Some of the asset values might get really big. So we're going to talk about that as well. So I'll touch on that. And then we've obviously got a big show tomorrow with the Titan Legends and DragonX founder. So don't miss that tomorrow. So we're doing quite a few shows lately and interviewing a lot of founders, which is pretty cool. I hope you guys are enjoying all that alpha content here. Obviously, trying to win in the bull market, you've got to do it while it's here. What's it, around every 4 years or something? We're going to check out the stock market quickly. We've obviously got the Fed Reserve interest rate meeting coming up, so we're going to talk about that. That is imminent. And then we're going to get into Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto meme coins. That's our first third of the live stream. Then we're going to get the second part is going to be on Pulsechain. Pulsechain is ripping at the moment, and I've got a poll up in the chats here. I've actually got it on all three channels that we're streaming to. Do you think the bottom is in for Pulsechain? Yes, maybe, no, unsure. We're going to check that out later in the middle of the live stream. Get into that. We've got that poll up on all three channels, Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. So do fill it out, and we'll check it out later on. Our third part of the show, of course, is part of our new format, is the Titan X ecosystem, DragonX and Inferno. We're looking forward to Hydra launching within the next 20 hours. That is a major juggernaut inside the Titan X ecosystem, so we're going to talk about that too. So lots of stuff in store there. So 3 parts of the show these days, and I really enjoy it. We're going to go for the win, right? Go for the win. All right, let's go. We've got Lives Beneath in the house. How are you today? Very good. Hex, Pulse X, and Incentive for the win, 100%, and they are doing really well at the moment. So that's playing out the maxi strategy there. We've got Sandy Beach, an influencer, out on X there. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Hey, Sandy, you're doing really well. And of course, health and fitness is so important, and Sandy's been really spreading the word on that. Really, don't if that's something that you've been thinking about, follow Sandy, get a bit of inspiration as well for Sandy. So big shout out to Sandy. Thank you for everybody who follows me, getting close to 4,000 followers. Isn't that amazing? So good there. Big congratulations, Sandy. Unprotected Hex in the house there. I love this quote. I saw this earlier before I started the live stream. Hello, soon to be retired people. I love that. That's really good. So a big shout out to you, Unprotected Hex, with that one. It made me smile when I saw that one. Wookie says, if this keeps up, Wookie will have to go back to work, says Wookie. I'm not sure what you mean. The charts are green, my friend. The charts are green. What are you talking about? We got Brian in the house as well. Hey, woo! Good to see you, Brian. Woo! Yeah, I love that. Brian, our community leader, just an incredible human being as well. Big shout out to Brian. Constantly helps people. Really is such a giving person, and it's highly noted, right? It's highly noted. What else there we got? Today is a good day, says Brian. Absolutely. Big stuff, folks, there from Brian. So big shout out to our community leader there, Brian. Who else is getting in here? What else? Let's jump in here. We've got Archie as well. Archie is our latest community leader, and he's joined the fold there, head of the Mafia family, of course. And we're going to be talking about that in about 6 hours' time, as I say. That's going to be a cool show on the first metaverse coming to Pulsechain. You don't want to miss that. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've got a new video that Archie has made that we're going to be showcasing at that live stream in about 6 hours' time. So do come back again today and check out all the Mafia World metaverse on Pulsechain. Gotta be awesome. A big part of crypto as well. We got Eddie says bottom is in. Woo! Yeah, get excited, Eddie. Hex Token channel member as well. Big shout out. Represent. Your boy. Your boy. I don't know. I make up my own sound effects just the way it goes. What else there? That's pretty much it. So kind of cool. Let's get into it, folks. Without further ado, let us start off with the live streams we've got coming up today. So let's check that out. Bam. Mafia. Now, I got to thank Archie, who's the Don of the Dons, head of directorate for some of these Mafia graphics. A beautiful woman. I mean, it's part of the Mafia world, isn't it? And here we are. First metaverse coming to Pulsechain, a Mafia map land rush. So I'm going to post this in the chat here. Come along and watch this later today. We've got a new video. We're going to talk all about the massive land grab. metaverse and how you could make some real mad gains inside the Mafia game, which is not yet launched in pre-launch phases. And of course, it's 11 pre-launch phases. And then we're waiting for the next step, of course, exchange and the map. It's going to be a major game on Pulsechain and BNB. It will be played on BNB as well. So Mafia show in about, what time is it now? About 6 hours time. So in under 6 hours. So come along and join that. Hit the notification bell. Click on the link, hit the notification bell, and come back. Share it around to your friends as well. If you're on X, definitely share that around. It'd be much appreciated. There we go. Mafia show in under 6 hours. I spelled hours wrong. It's actually Horus, an Egyptian god. But anyway, spelled that wrong. But get in there, folks, for that. We got Sandy says, Sandy, is that you on the beach? Could be Sandy. It looks a lot like Sandy, so not surprising there. Now, that's going to be pretty huge. A Mafia map land rush FOMO. I mean, that's really what's going to be. The metaverse is here on Pulsechain. So important. And, of course, it's going to be 3D, folks. 3D. And it's apparently right down to the street level. You don't want to miss this. This is like having Pulsechain interactive. It's kind of like you're in the Pulsechain world. And it's in a specific theme, of course, is Mafia. And as you guys know, we in the syndicate, we've got 4 families under the directorate, and of course, we're absolutely loving it. So yeah, pretty awesome. And we've got the best Don of Dons, Archie Capone. So pretty cool. So that's the first thing coming up. The second thing, of course, is tomorrow we have Titan Legends and Legend X from the Titan X ecosystem. We got an interview with the founder Rudy, doing some really cool stuff out there. Also, the founder of JakeX meme coin. So 2 projects there doing really great. And of course, Titan X Legends and Legend X is really innovative in the token NFT hybrid space, doing some really good stuff. So you definitely want to check that out. I'll post that in as well for those that want to attend. That's tomorrow. Now, it'll be the same time as this show, but half an hour earlier, just because of US time differences. So we'll be half an hour earlier starting our daily show tomorrow. That's going to be pretty cool. So I'll just point that in here. Titan Legends. How do I spell that? Titan Legends. Oh yeah, there we go. And that is a Titan Legends show. So hit the bell. Hit up that link and hit the bell. Spread it around as well. That's for tomorrow, and that's going to be really insightful. A lot of value creation there. We're going to check out the charts on this later in the show. So definitely looking forward to that. Bam. All right, we're really mixing it up, aren't we? We're mixing it up, so it's kind of cool. Something for everybody, right? Something for everybody. There we go. Looking good. All right, so that's kind of the press release there, I guess. We're going to get the stock market. Let's go. And, of course, let's find out what we got. We got the stock market here. U.S. stocks flat as traders brace for Fed's rate decision. Now, we've got the Dow Jones at the moment pretty much flat. I mean, it's sitting at 41,600 points, down 16 points. We've got the S&P 500 pretty flat as well, up 1.5 points at 5,634. The NASDAQ, though, made a bit of a move. That's got all the tech companies in it, up 0.2% there, and 35 points to 17,626. So pretty quiet market ahead of the Federal Reserve's announcement on interest rates. Are we going to finally get that big pivot that we've been looking for? And will it be 50 basis points rather than 25? That's kind of the play there. Now, the interesting thing happening was the US dollar index is sliding. We expected this. We're at 100.056. And of course, we get the interest rate pivot. Are we going to go below 100 on the index? Wow, that devaluation in the US dollar, man, that's going to be something for commodities, right? So we've been looking at commodities pretty closely. At the moment, we've got West Texas oil at $67. We've got Brent oil at $73.67. Both of them pretty flat today. Gold, however, is up. So the US dollar devaluation on interest rates lowering would be bullish for the commodities. So gold at the moment up 0.3 of a penny, $7.50 to $2,600. And we've got silver, and you watch silver. We've got targets of $75 to $125 for silver. Let's see how we get on to over the next year or so. It can be pretty amazing, and we should have some big re-rates there, especially since we've sort of gone over $30 again, up 0.3%, 10 cents almost, $31.07. So that's what we're going to look out there. So let's go straight to the Federal Rate Monitor and see what the interest rate likely will be. We've got 17 hours and 50 minutes to go until the Fed rate meeting announcement. Obviously, that's a 2-day meeting approximately, so that's going to be played. So we're going to, about 18 hours away from now, we'll get that announcement on interest rates. At the moment, the market, 2/3 of the market almost, is picking a 50 basis point rate cut, so that's half a percentage point. So that would take us from 5.5% on the federal funds rate down to 50%. It'd also be our official pivot from the terminal rate at 5.5. So that's going to be pretty cool. Only 1/3 of the market is expecting a 25 basis points. So I think there's a good chance we've got that 50 basis points. That's going to be really good for crypto. And we may get a stock market sort of pullback at in the second half of September. It typically happens historically with interest rate pivots. We shall see. But it will probably get more volatility in the stock market. But crypto might begin to exude its rally. So we'll see. We'll see how we go there the next 2 months. The next 2 weeks, we're still expecting volatility in crypto, right? So that's the play. But not today. Today, the market's signaling that they actually kind of like this at the end of the meeting. We're up 3.1% there on Bitcoin at $60,245. The Bitcoin dominance is still dominating, so we're really not in altcoin season big time yet. We're at 56% on dominance. And of course, Ethereum there is up 1.6% at $2,337. Pretty good value to get on Ethereum at the moment. Solana down slightly, XRP down slightly. What else are we talking about here? BNB up almost 2%, $545. ADA up 1% there. Tron is up slightly. What else is looking interesting? Litecoin is up 1.8% as well. And we've got BCH, which we never talk about. BCH here, we've got that. And we've got BSV down here as well, but I never talk about them because it's very hard to get down to that part of the map. But they're down there too. All right, so those are the majors. Let's quickly zoom on Bitcoin. This is the hourly chart on Bitcoin, and what a turnaround. We were way down here. If you can see, way down here at 57,600. And then, of course, so we had that volatility, right? We came down again, and then we were up. Look at this, up massively to $61,378. So that's a really nice move overnight, right? So that's the hourly, and look at that pump, 6.5% on Bitcoin. That's pretty good. $3,750. Wow, that's awesome. We love this in crypto. I see crypto, it turns around one day from the next volatility in September. Not surprising. And of course, here we are with that volatility. Look, up and down, up and down, up and down. And it does look like a bit of a rollover, but kind of moving towards the chance that we could get into October with the Uptober movement there. And of course, the US election, we really want Trump to win there because he's pro-freedom and pro-crypto. It's a double win for that, right? And of course, if we don't, Kamala Harris and all that will bring in communism, authoritarianism, and of course, be anti-crypto, despite the little illusions that they've given so far. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. It really is a life or death thing for freedom for the whole of the world and for the next century, I would say. It is such a pivotal election. So you know who to vote for if you're in the United States. That's all I can say. All right, so we've got Ethereum at the moment. Let's go to that. Ethereum at the moment, obviously following up a little bit here. Let's go back here. We're down around $2,261. We've had a pretty nice little movement back up here. And got our way up 5.9%, $133. Currently come back quite a bit though. We're still up $74, 3.27%. So not too bad, but still lagging behind the Bitcoin. That is on the hourly. Let's go quickly to the daily. In fact, I forgot to see whether we had actually touched on Bitcoin. Probably averted getting that death cross, right? I forgot to talk about that, so we might talk about that tomorrow. In any case, we have got a death cross here back on the 12th, 13th of August. For Ethereum, and you can see it down. We have gone really. So our little comeback here is very slight indeed. So yes, September being pretty brutal. Bitcoin's got to save us. The US election's got to save us, and of course, interest rates should be a bullish thing. Cheaper money, but we always said the Fed also print money, right? Those are just two tools. They can up and move interest rates up and down, and they can also print more money on their balance sheet and increase what they call the M2 money supply there. And that could flood through into stocks and crypto. And of course, crypto in particular. And I think crypto's got a lot more to run, right? Stocks are very, very low on that. So that's kind of the play there. That is it on Ethereum. Let's go to the meme coins here. So top meme coins, Dogecoin sitting at 14.7 billion. They're all down for the week, but we get it slightly up for the 24 hours, you can see. We're just going to go pick out some here. Popcat up 13% for the week. It's up slightly today. Brett on base chain up quite nicely for the 24-hour, but still moving around quite volatile. What else is moving? Turbo is up 33% and up about 12% today. What else? Sundog there, which is a relatively new entrant in the top coins for memes, is up about 10%, 9%, let's say, for the week and the day. Most of that today, actually. So it's nice. Pipcoin up 27% for the week. Most of that today, 17%. Another new entry here, Cry Dodge here. 132%. So that's the big news there. Baby Dodge up 14% today. So some nice moves there. We also got Nero moving up here as well. 1,543%. That's pretty insane. Up 77% today alone. So there we are. First Nero on Ethereum making some good moves. We also got Simon Scat, and that's up 45%, up 13% as well. And of course, one of our favorites, if not the favorite, is Dog on Runes. It's had a bit of a hard moment, but if you've been able to pick up the bottom, it's up 7% today and down 14%. Now, we know that Dog, good old Leonidas there, petitioning along with the rest of the community, very big community, of Binance to get a listing, right? Especially Binance has kind of changed its rules for doing new token listings. So hopefully they're going to move away from, pay us to list, less of that and more to fair launch cryptos, which Dog, of course, is pretty awesome there. And of course, it's on the Runes protocol, which is making up tons of traffic on the Bitcoin network. I can't remember last time, was it 40%, something like that. So it's doing pretty well. We're still picking Dog for the win there and expecting some big things if Bitcoin heads towards 90, 100K by the end of the year, for example. Then, man, Dog could really fly there and number one meme on Bitcoin and become number one in the world potentially. Imagine if that taken over Dodge. Wouldn't that be pretty awesome? That's kind of the market at the moment on meme coins and crypto. Market cap 2.08 trillion is the market cap, up 3%. And volume is 74 billion, I should say, up 2.2%. That's pretty much it for the crypto wrap up today. Should probably have some cool jingle like that says crypto wrap up. So that's pretty much it. Not too bad, eh? Not too bad. Now, why do we cover the stock market and financial news? Because it has flow on effects into crypto, right? It has the wealth effect, has the momentum. Is it really oversold? Is it going to have a 10, 20% correction? Because obviously that affects the wealth effect, the momentum that can cross over to crypto. The other thing, of course, the interest rates there. The interest rates are going to be, like I say, talk about cheap money. We're going to have lots of money flowing in from the Federal Reserve. Pretty important for all markets, including crypto, which is still a relatively small market and can be moved with less money, right? Think about it, 2 trillion market, pretty small on the global stage. So a lot of upside for crypto, as we know. And of course, also, we've got a lot of the same players coming over with BlackRock and others coming into crypto as it gets bigger and bigger. So there's a lot of good reasons to cover both markets like that. All right, let's see who else has jumped into the chat. Let's see here. Let's scroll back up here. What else there? We got Crypto Jack's in the house. Hey, Crypto Jack, like the suit man there, looking good. And even Sandy thinks that looks good. I'm not sure if that's where you're applying to, Sandy, but it looks good. We got Tin Top in the house. What's up, Tin Top? Hey, Tin Top, hope you're doing well, man. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat there. Craig Pitt as well is definitely one of our regular royalty visitors. Good to see you, Craig Pitt, a big supporter of the channel. We got Brennan in the house as well. NVA, not voting advice, says Brennan. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm down in New Zealand, down under. So there we go. If America gets saved by Trump, then we get saved as well. Because we don't want World War III. We don't want communism. We don't want fascism. We don't want globalists. We want freedom, right? Which we've been enjoying. So why do we want to be enslaved? This makes no sense. Trevor says, great work, Superman, building exposure to UFO and pTGC. Yeah. Like I say, one of the best ecosystems on Pulsechain. So it's a pleasure to do that, Trev. Big community, DAO, and reflection ecosystem there. What do you got? And arbitrage, isn't it? Andrew Reynolds there. Happy Green Candle Day, everybody. Absolutely looking good. Get into the poll, folks, and fill it out because we're going to check that out pretty soon here on the old Pulsechain section, which is next. And we're going to talk about it now. So let's do it without further ado. All right, the Pulsechain, Pulse Gains. And, of course, we've been talking about accumulating during this very long accumulation phase on Pulsechain. I mean, that's just the way it's been. And, of course, given a lot of opportunity to people. We got day 494. And the results are in for that. So we've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0378, up 2.5%. So very modest on that. Still super duper cheap to pick up Pulse. Only 38% of the mean sacrifice price. Very good entry for speculating, holding, or just getting into some of the protocols on Pulsechain. But probably most importantly, becoming a validator, getting 32 million Pulse while you can do it, while you can get it before it breaks away there and set up those validators. Earn a good 10% yield on those. Pretty safe money, relatively speaking. Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 019, sitting only at 1.1%. A super undervalued Pulsex, but obviously the volumes have been lower. We had 5-7 million volume. Obviously recently in the last week we got up to 10 to 25 million. Obviously the more volume, the more implied value that is on PulseX as well. But we've also got the buy and burn taking away the tokens off the market. And at the moment, we're at a 984 billion PulseX being bought up and burned. That is 4.88% of the total supply. So we're going to have a couple of milestones there as it heads towards 1 trillion burn, and also as it hits towards 5% of the public supply. So it's going to be pretty cool. And Inferno token at the moment is $1.77, up 1.2%, but the ratio has dropped, right? So the ratio has dropped to 47,000. It's really been held up by this Pulse price move, which is up 2.5%. We still haven't had an update here on the supply, so it seems to be not upgrading there the last week or something. So the last update was 42 million, but it's definitely more than that. Those are created from the PulseX V1 farm. So if you're farming there, you're pretty enjoying a very good yield over there. It's been very good in the range, so pretty nice. But of course, let's come to the star, and that's why I've got this background. You see the background I got there at the moment? Well, I don't know if you can see it, but let me just remove everything here, and you should be able to see it. This is in celebration, of course, the Hex. So that is the Hex glider, and I think Hex is really the star today. I mean, has been a couple of days in a row now. Was it 3 days? Money's coming over the bridge, and Hex is going up, up and away. We've got Hex at the moment just under 59/100th of a penny, so almost at 6/10 of a penny. Just Hex on Pulsechain alone, that's up 14% pretty much. And we've got EHEX at the moment at 2/10 of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PX is at just under 79/100th of a penny, or as easy to say, just under 8/10 of a penny. So we're marching back, combined value back to 1 cent. So some really nice stuff there. Money coming over the bridge. We've seen big buying going in. It is fun times over the old Pulsechain there. Now, we've also been seeing Richard post out some pretty bullish stuff too. He says, I'm doing great and will continue to be great. And no matter how many people attack me or whom they work for, Hex was hated and gatekept all the way to 1,000,000% gains. You can't stop an idea whose time has come. So there we go, folks. You can't stop an idea whose time has come. It certainly looks that way, doesn't it, with the price chart? So is it a bit of magic in the air? You decide. Truly decentralized systems are here and they'll never go away ever. And of course, Pulsechain is true DeFi. And of course, we checked that out on the validators, right? So let's quickly check the validator stats before we check charts again. At the moment, we got 500,000 beats. So we've definitely, yesterday we had 600 million beats. 600,000 beats. Now we've got 500,000 beats there. 7/10 of a penny for PulseX swap. So this is a good sign that things are going pretty well over on the old Pulsechain. And of course, remember, it is a layer 1 fork of Ethereum. So it's pretty cool. It's true DeFi because we have 48,676 validators. That's a people. That's a people's chain, right? Operating the chain. That's a huge number. And 1.56 trillion of the Pulse is actually staked in there, taking it off the market as well. And we know validatorstore.com is the number one validator there. 71% has gone through David Feder's operation there, which helps you get hardware and software setups there to validate. So all you have to do is buy the Pulse, order something from Validator Store, and you can do that. Now, there's also a way of doing it through NFTs, through the DGN NFTs. I think up to about 68 or 72, somewhere in that ballpark, is equivalent to one validator. So you can always purchase those. Definitely a cool opportunity. We also have, we're going to be having a kind of a rocket fork coming to Pulsechain. We're going to be able to validate, you're going to be able to delegate Pulse, I guess is the way to put it, on there, and you're going to be able to earn a yield through that, through validating. So you put the stuff in, and it's going to give you a sort of ownership token, and then like Rocket Pool, and then you're going to be able to, they'll be staking underlying with the hardware, and you'll be able to stake with that. So that's coming to Pulsechain too. That's by, I think, Hexa, I think, is doing that. So pretty cool. I remember got the name right there. The bridge at the moment, $99 million. So we're just underneath 100 million again. So we're up from yesterday. So that's good to see. I think we're at 98.4. So we're up about $500,000 there. So not bad there on the old markets. And let's quickly check some of the charts here. Now, I did have one more post from Richard. So we're going to talk about that. And that was a big shout out. Nice website to gopulse.com. So we got the link to that in the video description if you want to use GoPulse to buy and sell any of the Pulsechain stuff. So think about that. It's pretty fast, actually, especially if you got the fast-moving market. I actually find it faster than pTGC, even though pTGC has, been increasing the speed of their swaps there. They have to route through all these calculations, but the GoPulse seems pretty fast there. So it's definitely a good alternative of that, as a DEX aggregator. So kind of cool. Pulsechain price on the daily, quadruple 03775. As you can see, the RSI still pretty far from the top there, 57. So really potentially for a lot of upside. And you can see we've got a higher low in there, right? So higher low, woohoo, is in. So have we got a higher low? Is the low in for Pulsechain? You decide. Now we've still got, of course, the court case coming up. And of course, you saw Richard's post today. Can't keep a good thing down. And of course, the pulse it is coming up here on the 24th. So we are ticking slowly towards that. I think that the court case is looking better and better by the day. We've had really good decisions from SECs about securities and not including ETH and things like that. So yeah, I think it's looking better today, better by the day for Richard case. And of course, the case is also against Pulsechain, Pulsechain, and Hex, right? So it was just kind of weird as well. So we've got 36 days to go until that, and it's going to be in New York. It's going to be the Richard Hart versus ECC. He's got the dream team of lawyers, right? He's got one of Elon Musk's lawyers there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So watch out for that. It's going to be a very big deal, not just for Pulsechain, but a very big deal for crypto generally, and also the First Amendment. So blockchain is speech and things like that. There's a lot of stuff up for grabs, and so they could be set precedents in the United States. So yeah, really, really important there. And he's got the dream team to fight it. Really, really cool. So that's kind of the play there. Let's quickly go to the weekly on Pulsechain and see how that looks like overall. That's the weekly. So is the bottom in here? Are we about to go up and start zigzagging away up, even despite the court case coming up? And of course, if we get Trump in there, Trump is kind of an insurance policy. We know he's going to get rid of Gary Gensler. He could change the whole ethos of the SEC, and of course, instead of going for lawfare and a little bit rogue against crypto, they could actually give us clear regulations and drop a lot of these frivolous cases like the one against Pulsechain, Hex, and Pulsex and Richard Hart. Right, that could be an insurance policy for this court case. So we shall see. And that would probably take effect though by about February, maybe. Depending on the speed. It could be March. It could be because of, they don't take power until January or whatever, and they have to appoint people and stuff like that. They've got to through the processes. So, yeah, maybe February, March, there could be an insurance policy. But nevertheless, I think the arguments and the merits are pretty good for the court case on the 24th of October. So fingers crossed for that, right? Fingers crossed for that. And, of course, we know tons of Pulsecans and Hexicans are going to go there, including the man, the myth, and the legend, Randy Olasky is going to be there. All right, so there we go. I'm always shouting out Randy because he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. All right, let's move on here. We're going to go Pulsex. Pulsex at the moment broke below that support level, but we've got a bullish cross here. Look at that. We've got a bullish cross. So the moving averages here is about to cross. So if that does cross and it's looking good for it, we're at the 13-day over the 34-day. The 13 days in this pink here, and the purple is the 34-day. So Pulsex looking very bullish for the cross. So I think things are going to continue on despite September being muddled. Pulsechain has its own sort of ecosystem and has been quite resilient against some of that volatility to some degree. So let's see what happens. Look, we've been rallying for quite a bit here. Plenty of room in the RSI on the daily, 53 there, so not bad. Let's go full screen and check this out. That is the chart overall. Let's have a look there. That is the chart overall, and looking pretty good. So we are below that long-term support that we were garnering. We broke that. We're fighting around that at the moment. But on the, really bounced off quite nicely here. So let's see where we can go here. So the next zone for me is 2,400. 2,400. We're at 19. We need to get over 2,000, and 2,400 would be the next move from there. You can see a bit easier on the weekly here. That is the weekly chart there at the moment. So we got high lows still in, still high lows compared to where we were before. But of course, we were in this downtrend here. So pretty important to get back over 2,400. So could be quite a bit of upside. The RSI on the weekly is still pretty chill, 41. So I think things looking pretty good for Pulsex, and we get those volumes up, right? Volumes up would be pretty important. We're going to check those volumes later. INC, let's have a look at the ratio. This has been pretty awesome for farming. If you're on Pulsex 1 farming, yeah, it's been absolutely awesome. So let's have a quick look at that ratio. Look at that, just zigzagging in this channel. So what a wonderful place to be in those farms, Obviously, you have permanent loss depending on which way it's going, but it is pretty good at just about 47,000 there. still looking pretty good in my view. So pretty fun to farm over and get those nice yields over on Pulsechain. On Pulsex, Hex, of course, has been the star. Look at the star. It's looking good. Now, we had a big rally here, of course. We rallied up, how many days? About 66% in 5 days. Pretty good for Hex since it was in this downtrend. So it was pretty neat. And we came back a little bit. We're up 35%, but now we're back up again. And this is very positive, right? 64%. So Hex is starting to do the grind to glory. The grind to glory. Is that a new phrase? Did we just make something up? I don't know. But the grind to glory is on us, upon us, I should say. And of course, yeah, 16th of a penny here. This is looking very good. And the other big thing, we've got a bullish cross on the short term. So the 13-day over the 34-day has crossed. So that's bullish too. So I think everything's heading up here for good old sexy Hexy. Did I make another one up? Is this all happening live? That's my sexy Hexy or whatever. That's going to be good. All right, so let's move on before I get rugged. Before I get rugged off this channel. And of course, that is the weekly there for Hex on Pulsechain, looking pretty good. So is the bottom in? It's definitely looking very good for it. So let's go into EHEX. EHEX at the moment obviously having a really nice rise as well. So Hex on Ethereum, this is the original, this is the classic, this is the Genesis, this is the one that launched, was it 3rd of December 2019. For you, those of you there, it was an exciting time, extremely exciting time back in the day. And of course, Richard Hart was excited too. I feel like I should play that little clip video of when he did his 7-hour live stream. Do you guys want to watch a bit of that? Anyway, we're up 125%. So mad gains here on Hex on Ethereum, and it's still super cheap. Still at 2/10 of a penny. Pretty cool. And we know the BankX wall has been dropped at least to 175 million last time we checked. So that's very bullish for moving through as well. Will give us some resistance, but certainly get dragged up by the general market. So pretty cool. That is on the market set. Quickly, let's check the others. Everything is up. Hedron is up 23%, almost 24%. Icosa is up 21% as well. Remember, these are all Hex derivative projects. Of course, Hedron airdrops to T-shirt holders there. We got Maximus is up 14%. That's a 15.2-year super whale in Hex. So besides the Hex Gold whale, that's going to be the dominant whale out in 2030s. Lucky, the 7-year one, is up 14%. Decky, the 10-year one, is up 14%. Trio, the 3-year one, is up 11%. So some good stuff all around there. And of course, base is up about 5%. That's the 1-year one, right? That keeps renewing. So kind of cool. Big shout out to Goldkey and Dipcatcher out there. Did some great work. A big shout out to Alex McFurter, who's done some great work there with Hedron Icosa. So not bad, not bad. Let's go to stables coins as well. Bit of action here. We've got PDI at the moment is up a 9.7%. Now we've got LUSD. It's got $15 liquidity. Remember, it got rugged and that's dead. So we're going to take that off the list today because that's just it. It's gone by, boy. You're going to always have some of these, right? There's so many projects. Always going to have some of these in the games. That's the way it is. So yeah, we got PDI though. PDI is still the speculative coin. We still got PDI around. USDC, NUSD Tether at the moment, and they're 3600th of a penny on the old PDI. Is it going to make it to 1 cent? You decide. But of course, that looks still looking pretty good. I think there's still pretty good argument of a PDI. We shall see as Pulsechain starts to move up. This could definitely be a nice speculative stable coin. Now, will it ever get to dollar? You decide. There's just too many rich people. Is the Richard Hart theory out there? You decide. In terms of make a curve and everything else, you can decide on that. But at the moment, the chart is telling us that there's quite a bit of support in this chart. So there we go. All right, so that is on PDI. We'll keep watching. It's kind of fun to watch. Let's jump over to the influencer coins at the moment. Scuba Steve. Now, see it in the title of the video. Scuba Steve, absolutely looking phenomenal. Look at this, up 108%. So who said you can't make mad gains on the old Pulsechain? What do we have? 125% on EHEX. And then we've got, in a couple of days. But here, look, we've got, even just today alone, just in one day, we've got 108%. So this thing is looking pretty amazing. Let's have a look here on the 4-hour. Massive volume in there. I'm not sure what's driving that. I haven't been keeping up with this. So if there's some news around it, let's quickly see if we can find any on Scuba Steve. But that has definitely got pumped. Now, Scuba Steve, one of the influencers in the community. Yes, look at that, up big time there. So I'm not sure what's driving that, but it's definitely up today. You should look in Scuba Steve. So yeah, let us know in the chat there if you're aware of what's going on. I'm not really following this project in particular that closely, but it's definitely looking big there. Someone has moved that chart with a lot of volume coming in there. How much? 80,000. So pretty cool. Small liquidity, 31K at the moment. That would have been much lower, so it's kind of easy to move it if you're willing to commit the funds. But there we go. That has gone up there, and we've got the website as well. Quickly check that since it's done a big move today. Dive into the depths with Scuba Steve. Pretty good artwork, isn't it? Actually, pretty good website. I like this. This is quality. So yeah, Hex inflow. It's got the 369 in there. The remaining supply. It's got contracts. Roadmap there. Phase 1, phase 2. I think have we done all those phases? I'm not sure, but definitely worth checking out there. So that's not bad. Not bad, but pretty cool. So that's the start today. Trayvon's more token is up 8%. We've got a little bit of action there. Let's jump over to the overall coins. See what's been performing. I want to look at the volume, of course, as I said to you guys earlier. So let's look at that. Pulsechain. Let's see what the total volume is. So total volume, 15 million. Yeah, on uptrend. Come on, guys. We were at 5 to 7 million. Now we've been getting between 10 and 25 million. Things are improving. So things are improving. We've got Scuba Steve there, number 1 today. We've got pTGC, which I also wanted to cover. And that is pretty cool. That's in the title of the video as well. pTGC, of course, the big Dow reflection and arbitrage one is doing like a boss. It's like a boss. Look at this thing, like a boss. This is the daily candles. Those are daily candles. Oh my God. So there is value to be made on Pulsechain. You just got to pick the right winners, even then when the Pulsechain was kind of going down. Now we've got Pulsechain starting to go up. OMG, right? OMG. How big can this get? Now, liquidity is still relatively small, 140. But man, this thing is just moving up really nicely. $37 million market cap now. Let's switch this over. You guys know what I'm going to do, right? We're going to switch this over. Actually, I got the right one here. I got the die one. Let me get out of the die. Let me go to Pulse one here. Let's go to the Pulse because I want to show you the Pulse ratio. And that is the chart on the weekly. Woo! Hot dog in it. Oh, no. It's got a brand new all-time high. It's got volume coming in. Now, the RSI on the weekly is getting pretty hot at 80. So just take that into account. We're going to check it out on the daily as well. But what I want to do is switch over to Pulse and watch the flippening of Pulse, right? OMG. Is that cool? Oh, man, I feel like a teenager right now. I'm saying OMG and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy. But we know when you're having fun in crypto, it makes you a little bit giddy. No, giddy. Come on. That's just the way it goes. Look at that, man. We're at a 3.3 pulse per 1 pTGC. 3.3 pulse. OMG. That is so cool. And look at back down here. This is when it flipped. Look, the flip. I'll put the line in. That is when it flipped. Is that crazy? Look at that thing. That is when it flips. It flipped the pulse there. And it's up at 3.3. It is not holding back. Wow. And of course, there's 770K liquidity in this one. So this is a much bigger pool to be trading. And of course, a 37 million market cap. It's got multiple trading pairs, of course. It is pretty cool. Arbitrage, reflection tokens, other tokens like UFO, and of course, arbitrage there. What did I say? Your reflections and a DAO, right? So it's really cool. And I think another important thing about this project is got a very supportive community that's looking at long-term gain. I think that's kind of fair to say. So not bad. 3.3. That's crazy stuff right there. So definitely some cool stuff happening on the old Pulsechain. Hex, of course, is up there too. We talked about that. UFO, of course, related to pTGC, up as well, 13%. Alien also, I think, is related as well to that, is up 13% there as well. Yeah, not bad, right? Now, Diehard's doing well. It's up 10% because, of course, you get PDI dividends, and PDI dividends are doing, PDI is doing fairly okay, as we just looked in the chart. So some nice moves there. We got Teddy Bear. Oh, I know this is Moon King. He likes this Teddy Bear, doesn't he? Up 8% at the moment. And P-Drip, the ROI protocol on Pulsechain, which was on BNB, right? P-Drip there up 7.7% there as well. $1.19. I mean, it's way down off its highs, right? So from memory, the highs were way higher. But let's look at PDI. Yeah, look at that. That's typically what you get in a P-Drip chart. That is pretty similar, isn't it? It is pretty similar. Anyway, so it's still up today though. But take care out there. Probably worth avoiding with that rate. But anyway, I haven't looked at the yield that people are still getting, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. So those are all the ones over 10%. So we've got Green Day, 188,000 transactions, not too bad there for the old Pulsechain. That's day 494. We just started day 495, heading towards 500 days on Pulsechain. And Richard Hart's bullish post out there. Got to encourage you. Finally, Hex payouts. Like Hex, of course, the price is up. And of course, that means your Hex that you're getting from your T-shares is more valuable. And that means also getting T-shares is a bit more expensive with the share rate going up against you as well. So there's lots of forces that happen there. Day 1752. We haven't had, we finally got Hex updates. How about that on eHex? So that's pretty cool. So what have we had here? We haven't been an update for quite a while. I think it was day since 42. So yeah, it's been about 9 days. But we've been getting pretty good payouts here. 7.3 for most days here, as you can see. And of course, 9 days ago, 7.4. We've had a number of share rate jumps, 39, 70, 140 today. So we've had a few jumps there, but not too bad. What have the T-shares been like? And the holders up and down every day. We've got just over 8.9 million T-shares. Remember, the max T-shares that were on Ethereum was 11.2, and now we're down to 8.9. So, yeah, it's going to be fun times. When we get to the end of this year, you know that the 10-year ones that did 10 years, we could see quite a few of those early in stake, and so T-shares could get burned off big time around the summer coming up, or winter northern hemisphere. Just take that into account. Keep a mental note of that. We could see that happen, and of course, those are coming out in 2029, 30. So we could see that big candles, right? Big candles on the global mining ladder. So question mark there. What will the price of Hex be? Hex will have to be pretty tasty. But people will probably see that happen, right? They get it over the 50%, so they don't lose their principal, right? But they still get hit heavily on the mining yield that they earn there. So it's important to note that. The payouts, of course, have been around 65, 66 million a day for the payout pool. And of course, looking at Pulsechain, we've still got a day behind here, but we've had pretty good payouts, right? 7.2 over on Pulsechain for Hex. Let's have a look at the T-shares up and down every day as well. There are more T-shares on Pulsechain. Theoretically, it should be more adoptable given it's cheaper over there. But at the moment, Ethereum Gwei is so low, so the S-load function, which makes ending mining is super, not too bad over on Pulsechain. Now it's over on Ethereum. Now it's 1 or 2 Gwei, but that can change around a lot. Like yesterday, I think we saw 22, 23 Gwei. So it's definitely Pulsechain longer term will be a lot cheaper. Although obviously, if it does become super popular as we envisage in the years ahead, then obviously gas prices on Pulsechain can go up, as we've seen. They've sort of tripled over the last couple of days with a more fulsome chain there. Now let's jump over to the payouts. Pretty similar, 65, 66 million in the payout pool, so not too bad there as well. What's the growth looking like? Only miners. We only had one positive miner day out of the last 9. The rest of them been negative there, but we've had a lot of holders increase there as well. So that's pretty much it for Pulsechain update. We love green candles, so we had green candles in a crypto for Bitcoin, and we got green candles on Pulsechain, particularly Hex leading the way, pTGC, and of course some nice stuff happening there for Scuba Steve out of the blue as well. So there is a bit of action going on, so kind of cool. Let's jump over here. We got some more comments. So we're going to get into our final section of the show, which is DragonX on Ethereum, which is going to be amazing. Hydra coming as well. So I hope you guys are feeling bullish about that. Trev's in the house there. Pulsechain is amazing, enabling small punters to swap into great projects for almost nothing. So true, Trevor. And it's still, even with the recovery to some degree, still really, really great to get entry, right? Still huge entry to get in, particularly for Pulsex and Pulse, I would say, and Hex as well, So really good opportunities here. Let's end the polls on Pulsechain before we move on to DragonX. Let's see where this is at. Let's see here. We got the polls that come out yet. Oh no, I clicked end, but it's not coming up. What happened to that? I'm not sure. I clicked end. Let's see what happens there. So we've got, I'm just doing Superman Crypto. See if it pops up there. So Superman Crypto, we got a couple of votes over there. We got 4 votes. We got, do you think the bottom is in for Pulsechain? 50% said no. So 2 out of 4 said no. Yes, 25%, maybe 25% there. So let's see who was right out of that. And a big shout out to Crypto Jacks over on Superman Crypto there. What happened to my poll on the disappeared? My poll results disappeared on the Hex token, which would have added quite a lot. So I do apologize. It's not out of my control, unfortunately. I don't know if we got any votes. Yeah, we got some votes over on Superman X. So it's in the poll over there. Yeah, what happened to my poll over on Hex Token channel? I'm not sure. 100% says yes. So we have 2 votes. Do you think the bottom is in for Pulsechain? And 100% said yes. So there we go. But the bigger poll was on Hex Token and it's disappeared. I did end it, but it's gone. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Popped up finally. It finally popped up late in the day. So yeah, do you think the bottom is in for Pulsechain? Yes, 64%. We had 28 votes, so there we are. It's a much bigger poll. and 2/3 almost of people are saying yes. 40% said maybe. No says 10%, and unsure is 10% there. So 4 out of 8 pretty sure that we're gonna either likely or will have. Is that the way I can interpret that? Bullish for Pulsechain. We should see. Certainly, the charts are looking in favor of that, in my view, with the bullish crossover that that 13-day over 34. So I think that's looking kind of good. Right. What else there? Life says RH for the win, 100%. The UFOologist says pTGC. Yeah, if you're in that, you're loving that. That's turned out to be a really good payment. Of course, if you're staked, you're earning, right? You're earning there. God keep Trump safe, says Trev. Absolutely. 2 assassination attempts. Unbelievable. That's terrible. The mainstream media's played a role in that. So has the Democrat Party, haven't they? Encouraging that sort of stuff. We got this. We got Pineapple is in the house there. Superman update. It is in the house. Yeah, we just finished it, but we're going to get on to TitanX next. Pineapple says not bottom yet. Yeah, well, we're still got the court case in October. But Richard's post today was pretty bullish. And the charts are looking pretty good, and we're getting those moving averages in the right direction. We've got higher lows as well, so there's a lot of good stuff. We've got big capital. Now, the question is, will we get Sun AG? Will that $20 million come in to fatten up the liquidity pools? Hex Scout did say a couple of weeks they'd kind of revised after not setting them up very well beforehand. I think the Sun AG token is down to 50 cents now. Remember, it's not a stable coin. It was trying to get to $1.60, which apparently is just like some of the price to its meals. So there's these super duper magical weight loss meals. So we'll see where that heads to. Live says we can see it. Yeah, I just couldn't see it. I don't know. It disappeared. All right, let's get into it. I got to bring in the other one there. Let's go. We're 46 minutes on the hour, so we're doing pretty good time. Hopefully I'm not speaking too fast. Sometimes I can race away. But let's see what we got here. Let's close it up. And I should have probably waited till I did that. Let me get rid of this one first. And let's post that up. Bam. Let's go over to where we're at. And we're going to click out of there. And I think everything's looking pretty good for TitanX. Let's do it. Bam. There we go. Are we there? We're there. All right. So this is TitanX. Let's see. This is on Ethereum. So we flipped from Pulsechain to Ethereum now. And we got the yields here. I've added in Janice. Of course, we talked to the founder of Helios, and of course, the dude was a great show. If you haven't checked that out, check it out on the stream there. So Helios and Janice are both live now, and I've got the upcoming project in early October there for Element 280, which is going to be super big project, but like an ETF or something. So, or basically a mutual fund. You're going to be able to buy lots of different assets, or you basically get exposure to all of TitanX ecosystem with the Element 280. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to cover that again, of course. We've got Janus, which is on Pulsechain. So Janus is on Pulsechain. You can see it's got the Pulsechain colors there, even though it's a TitanX. And they've bridged over tokens like TitanX and stuff over to Pulsechain. And of course, that is making money. Now, that could be another pTGC, right? So on a different scale. It could be absolutely massive. So definitely worth accumulating a little bit of that. And it's up 9.5% today. So that's pretty cool. I know some people that have bought up Janus yesterday. So, it certainly contributed to that. Janus could be a real flyer there. At the moment, I think pretty relatively super cheap here on Pulsechain. And of course, that is the chart there. So not bad. And start to rise on the bottom, being 5 zeros, 1100, now 5 zeros, 19. I think this is going to be pretty fun. Imagine Pulsechain goes up, all the assets that are in it, all the LPs go up in value. So and then it has the arbitrage as well, meaning those fees pushing up the floor. So it's a pretty good thing to check out. Definitely check out Janus there. I might post that in the chat there if you guys want to check it out in more detail. Check the website and read all that up. And of course, check out the video we did with the dude yesterday. Janus on Pulsechain. But like I say, it has bridged over, TitanX and I think DragonX and other stuff there too. What else there? Brennan says, yes, I did cover that, Brennan. I didn't ignore it. I just actually got the poll, so I was able to read that out. All right, so that is Janus. Check that one out. Now let's go back to the results at the moment. So best performer today, Janus up 9.5%. Helios is up 2.6%. So that's funny that we just did an interview with this guy, the dude, a really smart guy, and those are our best performers at the moment in the TitanX ecosystem. Next comes DragonX. That is down 3.6%, up slightly on the hour. JKX, the meme coin. Remember, JKX is related to Titan Legends and Legend X token, which we are going to be interviewing tomorrow. You don't want to miss Rudy on tomorrow's show. You'll find out more about JakeX. That's performed very well on the charts, just down today, but is a pretty good performer. Inferno, of course, which is kind of similar like DragonX. There's kind of those two are like the store of values in the TitanX ecosystem. And of course, that's down 4% today, but it's up slightly on the 1 hour. And of course, this here is going to benefit from Flux. So DragonX is going to benefit from Hydra. That could be launching in the next like 19 hours within that time frame. That is major. It's a huge protocol for DragonX. And of course, Inferno could benefit from Flux, which is possibly at the end of the week. So it's exciting. It's exciting. And of course, there's still very good entries on that. Now, I've just done a big update in Strategy Club. If you haven't joined Strategy Club, the link's in the video description. I've just done a big update there on, basically strategy and tactics around that. So you definitely can join up to that. It's only $35 a month, so really good value. We're constantly doing intel flows about projects and potential strategies that people can take. So definitely get into Strategy Club. Links in the video description. Maybe Wookie will post his link in the chat there as well. All right, so we got Baby DragonX at the moment is down 4.4%. Hyper down 6.45%, and of course TitanX there. So Hyper is a leverage play on TitanX, so you can do miners and try to make a leverage play, get more TitanX. TitanX itself is down 15.7%, but there's probably a good reason for that. There was a whale got exploited by a terrible thing there. Now, when you've got your blockchain, you see transactions. Sometimes people can, scammers can post fake transactions. There's all sorts of tricks that they try to do. So you really got to know, are you on the right URL? Have you saved the official URL? Only use those. Don't go Google searching if you can help it, because that's going to lead into trouble. Don't go back in your history. If you see anything, that transaction or a token or anything that may even look similar to yours, to what you've done, just ignore it. Don't interact with it, because you could get rugged. You could end up sending something to a wallet that gives you access and takes all your funds. There's lots of things like that. So do take care out there. I did post up a post on that in Strategy Club as well, just to remind people of safety. It's always good to do that. Now, whale got exploited for a lot of money. Still, so yeah, it's just the way it goes. I think it was 700,000 or something. It was a massive amount of money. And of course, that has pushed the price down the TitanX, right? So not a problem with TitanX, but with security that somebody got rugged with, and so there's still a little bit more money there left to sell. We'll see whether they sell that or not. So that's down 15.6% with a positive news. So that's unfortunate. So I feel for the whale out there, and they got exploited. But on the positive news, that gives you a better entry for Hydra, which is going to be potentially launching within the next 19 hours. So this is the website. You've got to use the official links, right? And not even Telegram, right? You're going to use official links here from Jake Sharp. It is not launched yet. You can see here the entry is not open to the DApp. Jake Sharp did put out, though, that Hydra is launching in the 38th week of the 2024 year. I love how he does these number things. And basically, he just interpreted that for us less than 24 hours. And, of course, this was quite a few hours ago. I think we've got about 19 hours. It could launch any time today, basically, in the next 19 hours here. So it's exciting. This is going to be a major protocol. It's going to be benefiting TitanX. It's going to be benefiting DragonX. And, of course, it's going to be a third layer protocol on top of these. It's going to be huge for a value. So, yeah, really good mining stuff. Like I say, I've got talked about strategy on that in the Strategy Club, which we'll probably talk more about there too. So definitely join up today. Pretty cool. All right, so that is from Jake Sharp there. He also posted underneath it, I think, as well. Yep. App.hydra.win is the only official source for the launch. There'll be lots of scammers out there trying to scam people. So app.hydra.win is the only official source for the launch. Now, if you guys haven't got onto Jack Levin there for this, I'm going to post the link in the chat there if you want to check it out and participate. So this is going to be launching today. So kind of cool. Kind of launch. And that's got the official links. So very important to have those. All right, so that is Hydra launch. Nice, cool. Good thing I spelled it properly. Let's go up the top here. We've got a few other comments here. Questions above the percentage, Sheeper. Did you post some questions up here? Let me have a look. Has the base cycle finished yet? I don't know if it's come to its second year. I haven't checked that recently, but good question on the Maximus base. That's the 1 year mining pool. It certainly had its first year. The second year might be coming up soon. I haven't seen anything on that though. It's a 1 year Hex derivative. It is indeed. All right, I think that was it on those. Good one, Brennan. So that is coming up. That is exciting. Woohoo! We'll be covering that in Discord, of course, so you can jump in the Discord. General Discord and Pulsechain Hex Discord is $5 a month, so that's for that. But if you want to get into our strategy club, which is multi-chain, and then join up today with the link in the video description. All right, and or you can use Wookiees. Has Wookiees posted this? I think he has. There's Wookiees link there, so you can use Wookiees link as well to join strategy club. Big shout out there. All right, so that is it on that. That's coming up. What else we got here? Yeah. Jake Sharp put this out only earlier. He says, I don't think people realize how much more game theory opens up by Hydra mining being priced into TitanX and not Ethereum. So when you go into Hyper and you try to leverage to get more TitanX, you have to put Ethereum in there, which is great for the whole protocol. But when you go into Hydra, you have to use TitanX. And that's going to make DragonX the bigger whale than it is at the moment. It's also going to buy and burn DragonX as well. And we also know there's another half a dozen or so projects going on DragonX, going to make that even more rare. That's why we say it's a store of value. And of course, we're going to have a similar type of thing happening to the Inferno token. That's why I also call that an Inferno as well. But that one's not Jake Sharp. That's from the Blaze team. So just take that into account. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. And of course, Hydra is going to be burned off as well. And it's going to have a vortex, just like Hyper is. So Hydra and Hyper are going to be two key leverage plays in the TitanX ecosystem. So not bad, not bad. So that's kind of cool. We're going to keep tabs on Jake Sharp. So on his update date, and at the moment, as we're doing live, it is not yet launched. So let's see, app.hydra.win for the win. Is that the way it goes? You don't have to rush in there straight away. It's a cost-based project, so there's not a lot of extra bonuses at the beginning. It really is about mining and leveraging to try and get more of the good stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much where we are at the moment on that. So TitanX, much cheaper to get into, right? Now, not as cheap as yesterday. Let's get rid of the overlays of the projects and let's have a look there. So yesterday we got down after the exploit of the whale. We got down to what 6 zeros, 5,335. We're currently at 6 zeros, 6,120 there. So it's definitely up from the bottom, and we're up about 13% or so. But yeah, it started off at 7,263 before that. So there we are at the top. So not too bad at the moment. How far are we down? Are we from that? We're getting pretty much about a 14% discount at the moment. From what it was. So that's a good entry if you want to pick up TitanX and go straight into Hydra. That's what you're going to need, right? So that is the one for TitanX. I'll post the link to that as well in the chart there in case you want to check that out. Brendan says, thanks, boss. You're most welcome. And that is the TitanX. So if you want to check out TitanX to get into Hydra, that is the chart for that. Obviously, check the links and all that sort of stuff, but obviously, do my best to give you the quality, but always check. That's the number one rule in crypto. Always check, right? Always check with official stuff. All right, so that is kind of cool on TitanX. Now let's do the overlays. Before we do the overlays, actually, we'll do the overlays first. I hadn't quite finished doing the chart analysis, but let's do that. And we're going to bring in, let's go full screen and we'll get rid of the RSI. And we're going to check out what's coming up. Obviously, Hydra is coming up. It's going to benefit DragonX and TitanX. You're going to need TitanX to go in it. That's imminent launch for that. We've also obviously got the Flux coming up. That's going to benefit Inferno. So this is going to benefit DragonX, TitanX. Flux is coming up. That's going to benefit Inferno. Now, I have a feeling it could launch between the 19th and 22nd. And of course, we had Bad Sports on the other day, and he thought this time frame was amazing. I do think it's possibly at the end of this time frame, the 22nd is probably when it's probably going to launch. So that's kind of the target day at the moment, 22nd on that one. And here we are with Hydra, imminent launch within the next 19 hours or so. Could be later on today, only a few hours. Let's see where it goes. Now, we've also got major events. These yellow lines are major events coming up. We've got the Hyper Vortex. It's going to open up a third buy and burn for the TitanX ecosystem. So things are really ramping up now. And of course, we're going to have the Hyper 96-day payout. I think there's about 77 billion in there. It's really the only inflation coming out for next couple of weeks. The next inflation is from the miners coming out. So this is staker payouts coming out. But next mining is the 8th of October, and that's about 92 billion. So this, and that's still modest compared to how much Hyper is out there, which is just over 1 trillion at the moment. And it's buying and burning, operating every day, right? So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Then, of course, not only do we have the Hyper Vortex coming into buy and burn TitanX, but we also have the Blaze 88-day payout, right? So that's going to have a couple $100,000 in Ethereum. So that's fresh Ethereum coming back into the system from the Blaze, and no doubt these guys are going to participate in some of these, existing TitanX with that. So I think we'll see a lot of those guys come back in the system, either go back into Blaze or go back through through Hyper to leverage on TitanX to get maybe into Hydra, something like that. So all that is buy TitanX straight up and get into that too. They also might participate in Flux, right? So Flux will be launched probably by then or coming up to. So maybe they'll hold off for that too. So there's more buying demand coming in. So pretty cool. Vortex, Blaze 88-day payouts going to be pretty fun. And of course, we've got other projects coming, potentially Pulsar in the second half of the month, potentially Felix, although it may go into October. And of course, we've got Vault coming, right? So Vault's coming. That's also going to benefit DragonX. You can see the little DX there. That's going to benefit DragonX. I'm expecting that on the 28th. So that's kind of where I'm expecting that now. I've tightened up the time frame. We'll see. We're doing our best estimate here. I think the 28th is probably going to be the play there towards the end of the month for Vault. And so to keep it out for that. Now, we do have the first DeFi protocol. That is Erebro. So all these are kind of ROI protocols. Some of them are store of value. Some of them are leverage. Some of them are the underlying asset like TitanX. But we also have the first DeFi project coming in to support the whole chain. And it's a big one, right? The Ouroboros protocol, currently in private test network. And that may launch at the end of September. We'll see, though. That's going to be pretty innovative in the lending and a stable coin. It's going to have its own stable coin, USDX. So it's a big deal. Going to be a big deal for fattening up liquidity, adding leverage into the TitanX ecosystem. So it's a big stuff there. Being able to lend against your TitanX assets, it is a big deal, right? So it's the first DeFi project coming in to the TitanX ecosystem. Then, of course, in October, we've got TitanX Farms coming. That's going to be early October. We're pretty certain about that time frame. It's going to be pretty good there. And that's also another DragonX project from the founder, Eric. And then, of course, Element 280, which we talked about yesterday. That is the next project for Helios and Janus. So that's the founder, the dude. That's very exciting. So that's the third DeFi project coming in. It's basically a way of having like a mutual fund or a multi-fund coming in and having a bit of every token in the system. And that's going to be super bullish. So Element 280 coming as well. That could be somewhere in the first half of October. Kind of cool. And of course, we've got Viper coming as well. That's the second stage of Vault. That could be sometimes in October there too. Fingers crossed. And then maybe we have Scale. So if you're in baby DragonX, then Scale could be coming out possibly before the end of October. Going to be pretty fun to see that, right? So very excited there. Now, we know this Element 280 also is going to be a 28-day mint phase. I think they should start it a little bit later, and then they can roll over to the 369 payout. Maybe some of that Ethereum from 369 goes into that. So very bullish on that. So that's kind of the roadmap there. At the moment, like TitanX, super cheap to get into all that. And then LegendX, which we're talking about tomorrow, is down 18.5% at the moment. So good little entry on that. We're going to be talking about the founder on this project tomorrow and see what he thinks about the price chart and the road ahead. So stay tuned for all that. That's an NFT token hybrid, right? It's got a very important phase going on at the moment too with the launch. So we're going to talk about that with the founder tomorrow. Rudy, don't miss it. And that is pretty much it on that. That is the TitanX Hub at the moment. How many projects are in the TitanX ecosystem? 21. And of course, Awesome X is the latest one to be added. There's a really good stream on the Blaze show earlier today if you want to go check that out, going through the white paper. So that's kind of cool. And I'll post a link to the TitanX Hub with all the TitanX projects coming up because it's a pretty bullish, right? Pretty bullish. All right, that is that on that. Yeah, we're waiting for, obviously, Hyper is doing pretty well. Hyper at the moment, man, oh man, look at the actual yield. So Hyper is a leverage play on TitanX at the moment, up 245% on the ROI. Lots of ETH still coming into the system. The buy and burn is amazing. Look at that, 1,111 ETH. I remember when it was under 100 ETH, and now it's at $2,600. That is $2.6 million, I should say, as in there now. Beautiful. Now that TitanX is TitanX is going to be the ETH in there is going to go buy TitanX. Is $2.6 million of buy pressure on ETH just coming from this alone. That's fantastic. And of course, we've got the Vortex that's going to be opening up too in a couple of days on the 19th. So we're only like a day away from this. It's coming up maybe a day and a half away from that. 390 Ethereum at the moment coming into this. $900,000 coming into that buy pressure. It's going to be pretty amazing. So bring it on, as we say. We're going to have V2 buy and burn. We're going to have the buy and burn here with ETH, and then we're going to have the vortex opening up. Pretty awesome. And then we've got the Blaze ETH coming out as well for potential, buy pressures there for TitanX. Isn't that beautiful? Hip rate. That's all we can say. Like I say, there's not a lot of liquidity at the moment on Hyper in terms of the supply. We got 1 trillion and 30 billion that's been buying and burning down, right? So we've just been going. We were at 1.1, over 1.1. Now we're down, heading towards 1 trillion. We do have, as I say, the staker payout. That's coming out there. So let me just go to the payouts here. That's about the payout. So 78. That's actually a bit higher than I said. 77, 78, and of course that's 98% the way through. That's coming out in a day and a half or so. So that's going to be huge. But so I think not a big deal compared to the total supply out there. We've certainly seen that not be affected with TitanX, right? So that's kind of the play there at the moment. And then of course we've got. What was I going to say about that? Then on the 8th of October, we got a minus, the miners, the first big candle coming out, 92 billion. And we got the buy and burn operating all that time, right? So it's kind of cool. And buy and burn ticking away here. You can see it right here. So that's got $609,000 worth in it. 980 billion. TitanX just went below 1 trillion overnight, I guess. So that's where we're at. And of course, that beautiful vortex is about to open up in about a day and a half's time, adding to that third buy and burn pressure. Let alone the blaze, of course. That is pretty much it. So kind of cool. Good mining yield, right? 245%. Good play to, especially, get multiplier on your TitanX potentially. And then, of course, go into Hydra once it launches later today. Kind of the play. All right. Kind of cool. And, of course, the inflation candle is epic. Let's go look at that. Inflation candle coming out is pretty low. So let's go check that out. We are through a lot of the inflation. This is the inflation at the moment. So we've got through all those 2 trillion candles gone. We got through the 3.6 trillion candle, and we've down now. Look, half a trillion candles at the moment coming out. Even smaller, quarter of a trillion, almost on the 20th. We've only got 7 more candles with 1 trillion. 5 of those are at the end of September. 2 of them at October the 5th is the last day, and then it's just downhill from there. Beautiful, right? We're about to head into deflation. We're going to head peak inflation, then deflation with Hydra launching today. How much will get burned up? It's going to be a lot of fun to see, right? So that is looking pretty epic. All right, kind of cool. And we keep refreshing the app to see whether it launches, but it's still not launched yet at the moment. And we keep an eye on Jake Sharp's post. That is pretty much it. That is our wrap up for TitanX today. Man, I hope you guys are enjoying all that stuff. It is going to be alpha as we move forward, right? TitanX is going to be moving to hyper deflationary. We're going to see Pulsechain probably still rise, in my view. We've certainly got a good number of people in the poll suggesting that too. They feel like it's in. So yeah, what do we get? About 4 out of 5 people pretty happy with that. That was with about 30 something votes. And of course, we've got crypto generally looking a bit better. We've got a couple more weeks to get through this September volatility. But is October, November, December going to be that big ride to 90K, 100K Bitcoin? And of course, that's going to lift all boats, right? Lift all boats. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. Don't forget to get into our Discord. It is the community of the community. And get involved, folks. Really do encourage you. That is a private Discord. So it's $5 a month to join. But really make some great people, get good information, and try and stay safe, as we say, as we lead into this bull market. It's going to be pretty awesome. And of course, you can always join the Strategy Club if you want a bit extra opportunity in multi-chain. So we've got something for everybody there. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I'll catch you again later on. We're going to be back on. Remember, we're going to be talking about the metaverse, first metaverse for Pulsechain in 5 hours' time. So just under 5 hours' time, we're going to be covering the metaverse coming to Pulsechain. That's a big deal. And of course, it's going to be in the Mafia game, a big land rush, and of course, development, not just getting a land, but development as well. It's going to be a big deal. So check me out in about 5 hours' time on that. We're going to have a brand new video too from Archie, the Don of Dons there. All right, take care of all. That's a good place to finish. All right, bye for now. I'm going to sign off here. We're now in 8 minutes. Yeah, pretty good time. All right, bye for now. Woohoo!